Mom, and I'm back again with my second video. Here I'm reviewing a book I've already mentioned in the last video. That is Tough Time Never Lasts But Tough People Do by Robert H. Schooler. You might be wondering why I'll be reviewing this book. Well, this book has really helped me to pass through this pandemic, because I told you, I'm rereading this book. So it really helped me in passing through this pandemic. So I thought I might be of help to all of you, all the viewers, and I would love it if it really helps you. This book tells a lot about how through tough situations we can win if we just wait and have a lot of faith. Trust me, faith really works, and we are the tough people, and we are going to win, and we will pass through this tough time. So let's get started. So the book has 3 parts. Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3. In Part 1, Dr. Schooler has given 2 chapters. The first chapter is Tough Time Never Lasts, and the second chapter is Tough People Do. Now, in the first chapter, Dr. Schooler has explained how he had passed through such hard times in his childhood, even in his college days. At that time, when you read about his childhood, you won't believe that he could become the pastor of a $20 million Crystal Cathedral. And he was the minister of television. He did so many things. He was an awesome person afterwards. But if he had not passed through those tough times, maybe he wouldn't have been able to reach there. So tough people really do last. Tough time does not. Next, in the second chapter, what we have is Tough People Do. In this, he had actually spoken about few people, out of which their stories he has shared, how they had gone through tough times and how they became a winner. But the most important thing that really touched me was he spoke about his daughter, Carol Schooler, in this. And there he told us that how Carol lost her leg while skiing, and then still she became a winner. Trust me, if you can talk about your daughter with that faith and with that strength, we can all understand what this book can give us. Really, tough people really last, but tough time never do. So tough time never lasts, but tough people do. Alright, in the part 2, Dr. Schooler has given 7 chapters in which he has spoken about, or rather written about, a lot of principles, and these principles are really important in our life if we can follow them. Yeah, it's true that we might not be able to follow all of them, but few of them are really we can follow, and these are very close to our heart. It can become close to your heart as well if you read it, but the ones which are very close to my heart, I'll be just talking about those principles. One principle that was very interesting for me and very important was every problem has a limited lifespan. This is so true. Think about the pandemic. We were worried last year when I'm a school teacher, so when the school got closed, what will happen? Everybody in the world was so worried. We did so many things, but somehow we know that there is a lifespan and it's coming to an end, maybe this year, and we'll all be free again. We'll all be happy. And the second one is every problem has positive possibilities. It is true. Had it not been so, I don't think I would have been sitting here in front of you and talking about the book and the author and so many principles. So yes, they might have different kind of possibilities, but believe me, just look at the positive possibilities and you will find that these positive possibilities will talk to you in a positive way. In chapter 4, Dr. Schooler has given 12 principles how we can manage problems positively. He has given these principles in the form of messages, small messages, short stories, which makes it very easier, to grasp it, to absorb it. Now, in these principles, I'll just mention a few. One is very important and it was very powerful, I felt. Don't underestimate. Don't underestimate your problems, and don't underestimate the power you have to cope with it. That is so important. It's so powerful. And the moment you come to know, yes, I have the power to cope with the problem becomes smaller and the power becomes bigger. That's very important. Then he talked about don't aggravate it. You know, we have a tendency, it's by word of mouth or through different social media or through different people, friends, small problems sometimes become bigger. It starts, you know, getting bigger and bigger like a balloon. So that thing, we mustn't aggravate it. Rather, we should pray it up, play it down, pray it up. That is very important. That means our faith is that strong. We can say to the problem, wait, my faith is stronger than you. So my faith is bigger than you. And a very important point he has said is communicate. Please communicate, because sometimes we just bottle up the problem within us, and that goes on becoming bigger and bigger and starts eating us up. So we need to communicate with someone we know, someone we love, someone we can trust. And the problem becomes smaller because the solution comes from somewhere or the other. Another principle I'll be talking about, which I really loved, is, I'll be just reading it from the book, don't surrender leadership to the fracturing experiences of life. Beautifully written. Believe in dreams. Never believe in hurts. Sometimes we get hurt and we forget our dreams. We sit back. Please don't. Don't let your fracturing experiences shape your future. Because if that had been so, we wouldn't have been, or I wouldn't have been sitting under this light, because Mr. Edison would have thought, no, I've failed so many times. I don't want to do it again. And this is beautiful thing I loved. Another thing is, do surrender leadership to one thing, that is faith. Trust me, maybe you will understand one day, or maybe you are understanding right now. Faith is a very strong word. It's like a baby when a father or a mother just throws the baby up. The baby doesn't cry. The baby just giggles because the baby knows the child has faith on his or her parent that they will just catch hold of him immediately. So that is the faith we should have, or we must have, I must have on someone up there or some power you believe in. One thing I have learned from Dr. Schuller is count 10 to 1. Or rather 1 to 10. If you have a problem, if you write down, if you don't give up, just write down 1 to 10 and write down the possibilities that can happen. And you might find one possibility in the last level, 10th level, which might work for you. Sometimes we give up on problems and because we don't think beyond few solutions, so few possibilities. So if I think of 10 possibilities, there must be one possibility which will work out. So there are many other possibilities, there are many other principles which Dr. Schuller has talked about, and like he had done it in alphabetical order. He has given a lot of important messages through that. So please, I would request and I would suggest this book to you. Go through it. Maybe, if not today, tomorrow, it will help you. I know many of you out there may think faith doesn't work. I would request one thing, trust me, faith works if you are persistent and consistent. Because, a flute, when it gives a beautiful sound, we see that flute, but we don't see the holes made into it. Or the wine cup that has been burnt to become the cup into which the beautiful wine is held. That has also gone through a lot of tough times or other tough period. That is what it is. We have to pass through it. We have to give some tests to show to someone up there that we have faith. We can do it with you. So please, if you like my video on this review, please do like, do share, do comment, and thank you. I would say thank you if you subscribe. Do subscribe. Thank you so much. Love you.